Yeah.
I'm always swept away by that little introduction there. Them couple of little videos there, they bring us into some niceties on a Thursday night at 9 o'clock. Michael, you're looking as dashing as ever. It's lovely to see you, mate. Hey, we're both looking like we've just been to the hospital, got our necks in casts. But
I've been to the hospital, haven't I? I've been to the hospital. I've been to the Spire Hospital. Maxine, my partner, had a hysterectomy, and more than that. She's quite serious, and so she's just recovering now. So.
Everybody in the chat room, let's send Maxine our deepest sympathies and say get better soon, Max. So if you can all comment up there, wish Maxine a speedy recovery. That would be fabulous. She's such a lovely woman, and Lord knows what she's doing with Michael, but she is. So these things happen. Miracles happen. Praise the Lord.
Well, I checked with policies because I was going to buy a new Ferrari. She popped her clogs, but you know, she didn't. So I was stuck with the Lexus. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm having a little gin tonight, and just as I pulled this bottle out that's got Bulldog written all over it, Dave Swift popped in the chat room. Now, how's your luck?
Well, it's typical, isn't it? One lush attracts another. Dave, how are you? It's nice to know you're watching.
Here he is. Look, check him out in the comment box. It's lovely to see you, Swifty. It really is. Alison Goulding's in the house. Alison's going, evening, Dave. Hello, everyone. So Alison's got her big jazz hands up. Do you remember Kenny Everett? Ha-hoo-ha. Do you remember? It was good, wasn't it? What a show. Anyway, how are we doing, Mike? You having a good week? You in good spirits? Are you affording any bills? Are you paying the gas electric?
It's been, I'll get to that in a sec. But yeah, it's been that Maxine was in hospital from Monday, so she's out now. And so she's home, and so that's fine. So I'm just being nurse Mikey babes, And but other than that, I've been having an argument with Eon, and I pay. I've got a direct debit that pays 250 quid a month. See, so what I did was when I moved in, I didn't realise when the meter was and everything, but I managed to. I got a lot of bills, which I actually paid the bills rather than worry about the Lardy cake was lovely, Matt. Absolutely fabulous. I'll get back to that later. But I have to, and so there I was looking at, I paid about 300-400 quid in these odd bills that rang around. And rather than do the landlady, because it's like, I just do want it to, what, they're getting all these people coming around saying, you owe us this, you owe that. So I paid it all off. And it's around the drinks. So anyway, so I paid this. And it worked out that I had 296 quid in, right, in the kitty. In 8 weeks, I was £78 in credit. 200 so I only used 200 and something, about 200, less than 220 or 220 quid worth of. So in 8 weeks, with all the computers that run here, and I've got 2 fridges, and a wine cooler, I've got 3 fridges, and a freezer, a wine cooler. Well, you've been here, Dave. You've got all kinds of wonderful stuff going. Television, you've got computers all over the place. I used 220 quid's worth in 8 weeks. Now
that's not bad, but it's going to go up. Where do you keep the bodies? What freezer do you keep them in?
Well, what part you were talking about? The small ones with the heads only. The chest freezers are obviously for the bodies. And the wine coolers, because they're long, they fit the legs and the arms. It's fine, and it's fine. I feel like Idi Amin. But I have to say that that was a surprise to me how little I'd used. That's the point I'm making, and how little it cost. Now, what would be interesting is, so they came on and said, "Well, you're going to have to start paying £700 a month into your." I said, "Why?"
Yeah.
Why you charge me £700? Well, because you're on our Eon Next, and that's what we charge to go on that. I said, "Well, take me off it." No, we can't do that. You sign up for it. So I said to them, "I'll tell you what." So I cancelled the direct debit, and I've had 20 emails from them trying to. So I said to them, "I'll pay £250 a month and anything over and above that, I will pay as an extra payment. But I'm not prepared to let my card on and charge. Take £700. What? There only 2 of us living here. 2 people."
Well, this guy that I've been working at for the last 3 days is him and his missus. They both work in distribution of food around the country. They do ham and cold meats, but I mean massive volumes. There's him and his wife and 2 kids in the house, and I've just put them in a big steam pod, so you can play Bluetooth speakers, you can play the Foo Fighters, you can have a steamer shower and take your coffee. And it's quite a smart bit of kit, to be fair. And he was telling me yesterday before I pulled off that not like that. He said that he's expected gas and electric bills combined next year on his usage is $8.5 grand. Now, my question is, we all seem to long it out. We talk about these things called months, and we seem to think that it's like a busman's holiday, and a month is a long, long, long time. But a month, in essence, at the longest is only 31 days long, and at the shortest, it's only 28 days. How do I know that? Because I know long month, short month, long month, short month. I was taught that years and years ago. But the point is, we long it out. But 31 days, it's not long at all. And look, these things happen with it, and God bless the energy companies. They are going to wake up a ton of people. That's why I'm not doing nothing on Facebook and that anymore. I can't be bothered. I've been speaking out for many years. This is one of the few things that I do now, because I'm studying myself to get myself completely free from the system. I'm not far off of getting there. But the point is this. The energy companies are pretty much, and all these other things, are doing my job, because what I've been trying to do for years and years and years is to gradually introduce people to the truth, like the real truth, and get them to wake up a little bit. But really and truthfully, I think my work is done on that level, because I think these energy companies, the councils, are going to wake them up themselves. And, you know, the late, great John Harris, he turned around and said years and years ago, if anyone watching remembers John, he did a video on YouTube many years ago called A Carpenter's Point of View, Just an Illusion. And it's really, really good, really, really good. But he turned around and said that at some point, the system is going to eat itself and dissolve itself. And that's what I see happening now. I don't know how true this is. Someone posted today, and of course, posts on Facebook we know can be half truth, proper truths, and nothing but the truths. But they've turned around and said that Vanguard and BlackRock have now filed for bankruptcy. So if that's true, then we're in for a bumpy ride, but a good ride for mankind. And before I let you come in, because I know you're itching to come in, the Queen was laid to rest, I don't know, last week ago, whenever it was. And if people take the time to go and look at her headstone, where she's buried with, I think, her dad, George, and Philip, you'll notice on her tombstone, it just says Elizabeth, Philip, and George. It doesn't say Elizabeth Windsor or the Elizabeth of the House of Windsor or Hanover or whatever. It just says Elizabeth. Now, that's a big key selling point, because these people are under, whether you know it or you don't, there's a little bit of history coming in or a little bit of a lesson, I don't know. But there's a thing called the Great Seal that this country has. Now, I don't understand it. And maybe that's probably part of the point, that we don't understand it, so we're not included in it. But the Great Seal of England is where real men and women are, and they live under a completely different set of rules and regulations, basically God's law. But yeah, it's very interesting, Mike, that Elizabeth is just Elizabeth. That's all that's on her headstone.
Well, if you take let's see, most royal families do have a surname, like the Queen's was like Mountbatten, and we had all these.
No, family names. They have family names. Family names.
The Queen took the name Windsor because it's the House of Windsor. Interesting that William and Kate are taking the name because their kids now are called Wales. They've just recently taken the name as a surname, Wales. And even Harry, when he was fighting when he was abroad when he was in the army, he had on his chest his name was as Wales. So they're adopted names. If you take King King John the First, he was Richard the First brother.
Never been another. Never. No, just King John. Never been another King John.
Well, yeah, he was. Yeah, well, he was John Lackland.
That's right.
John Lackland. He was Eleanor of Aquitaine's son. Along with
That's right.
Anyway, which is fascinating. Another fascinating story. But getting back to the point you're making about the Queen and everybody else, to be honest with you, the only difference between us and them is a title. There's no difference. We're all human beings. What are they? It's like a pop star. It's like a film star. We give them we give them. We all sit there going, "Oh, what a good actress!" And yes, we do. We appreciate what if you like Frank Sinatra or you like whatever.
All in here.
All these people, we give them the celebrity, and they rub it in our face and tell us to fuck off when it's not convenient to speak to us. They take the public penny, then they've got to be prepared to take the public's ad hoc. Because I don't see why anybody, when they're taking money from the public, shouldn't. They are then public property, and the Queen was public property, and the Queen I think she got older, suddenly realised that this gap.
Only the title was, Mike. Only the title was public property.
If you look back on the Queen, what she's done over the years, bit by bit, she's changed the monarchy. She's changed the monarchy so much that now the monarchy is comparison-wise 200 years ago, is tiny. You take who is it? The Queen? Is it the Queen of the Netherlands or Queen of whatever? Has just demoted, taking the titles off 4 of our grandchildren. Now the Sussexes, the two, absolutely. The scumbags, absolutely gripping. I know. Tell me about it. I mean, I know I'm falling asleep. But just to finish this because it is boring. But to go to the point, as far as I'm concerned, the Queen is just another human being. We give them the celebrity, just like we do with Frank Sinatra, and it's just what they surround themselves with to make us in awe of them. As far as I'm concerned, they're just someone else. I've met most of them. Most of them are pretty boring and pointless. So that's it. Quickly on.
Connie Patriots says, I've just posted a better video of my boat on my channel about 5 minutes ago. Well, that's fair play. And his boat is looking pimping, let me tell you. It's looking good. And I've got a boat to pick with him because he's got me looking at sailing boats now. I'm looking at getting a little old sailing boat. And myself, a 22, 24-footer. I'm in the market maybe for buying a little. Because I spent many years ago on a boat.
Hang on. Would you? Well, I might be interested. I might be interested in a joint venture.
Mate, I am seriously considering.
We've got the SS Mikey Babes or something.
The SS Mikey Babes, yeah. But there's a guy on YouTube. I'm following him at the moment.
I've had a boat, it's Small Britannia and all that. So, if you'd be interested, I wouldn't mind buying a bit.
Yeah, it's only a little small 22 foot.
No. We're gonna.
No, Mike, little is beautiful.
We are going to speak huge.
No,
go across the channel. Pick up
survivors. Hang on, Swifty says I got one to sell, Dave. If you're interested.
Is that the one he plays with in the past? That one?
Yeah, he probably goes down a little boating lake and puts it out in remote control there.
he likes playing little old men in the boat. There's no doubt about that. That's
well, Matty Everard saying you can get some nice ones in Dover, Dave. Oh,
yeah, Dave's into rubber. Dave's into rubber, but the movie's beyond from there.
The thing is, right, all this asylum stuff, I get it. I understand what goes on, but when you know that your own government are attacking your own people in your own country, and that this is just a cog in a bigger wheel, and there's multifaceted layers to this wheel. It's all about subversion. It's all about treason. Then you'll see the bigger picture. That's why really I don't talk about the immigration thing, because I see it as a Trojan horse. I see it as the horse outside of Troy. And we're in, regardless of whatever it is, the world's a smaller place. We know aeroplanes and that made the world seem a lot smaller. But at the end of the day, if you don't know who's coming into your nation, and we're seeing people get attacked and murdered, and what is actually the police and the system doing about it? They use lip service. They tell everybody that they're very upset and they're so sad this has happened, but they don't do anything about it. I don't care what the tragedy is, whether it's Stephen Lawrence or a busload of whatever. They do nothing. They just offer lip service, and that's the problem. We've just got a nation of public servants that utter lip service, and they've got no action. Where's the action? Where's the protection? Where's Tracy Blackwell's protection when her son and the two mates went out for a night out and they'd never come home because they all got murdered? Where's the system protecting them? I think it's gone beyond the yardarm. I think it's gone beyond the waypoint. And I've said this time and time again. The only people that are ever going to bring semblance and common sense and decency back to this country is the people itself. And you're going to have to, at some point, whether you do it now, you do it later, you're going to have to turf this system out and change it. And that's the only way I can see going forward.
If we had this argument, our discussion last week, and we were talking about what you change it to or from to. Now, while I appreciate, I'm a great believer that the people rule, and we do rule, but we elect people to rule on our behest, if you like. Now, as far as I'm concerned, it gets back to what you were saying last week. Both you and was it Mo? We're saying that as far as they were concerned, get rid of all of it and we run ourselves. But you can't have that, because then you have the rule of law. You need the rule of law. Now, we don't have...
No. Well, hang on, Mike. Let me just stop you there. We are both advocates for the rule of law. Me and Mo are advocates for the rule of law.
What I'm making is you have to employ people to bring that about. Then you have to pay for it.
Listen, we're absolutely fine with that. Pre-1972, when we was all at the rule of law and this European Union hadn't settled this treason in place in this country, where everybody was equal, a policeman, a judge, a milkman, a road sweeper, all equal.
Dave, you know that. You come from the same part of the world as I do. The police ran the place. The police you were terrified of the police because they got in a cell, they beat the fuck out of you. And that was,
it's got to stop.
It's got to stop. Yeah, but having said that, if you're bringing it right up to date now, if you look at what's going on around the world, you've got people in America saying, I see myself as paint. Now, these are my pronouns. What the fuck are these people on? And they've got one guy running around. Oh, look, I'm now a woman. He's running. I love trees. I love the grass. And all of a sudden, you see a little flying ant come towards him or something, and he screams, "Oh my God!" Like this, and he runs away like a girl, And he's going, "Oh," and they all going, "But you love the countryside, but I don't like bugs." He's going, "I don't like." And this is a man who's had his dick cut off to be a woman. Now, in America, and just as this coming in here, there are people now who are prepared to change the shape of our children by putting these chest inhibitors on whether parents want it or not. They're saying, I say to young kids, do you want these so you don't develop your chest like they do in Japan with women's feet? That's why women got tiny little things. They bind their feet up and they have tiny little feet. So, or they used to. So, so what's happening now is we are becoming we are becoming a nation of the minority running the asylum. Literally, we're all nuts living here, but the people these people who are allowed, like these teachers, these left-wing lunatics, who are indoctrinating people, who are saying that like a Rhodes Scholar. Rhodes Scholars have been educated for years and years. Cecil Rhodes is now a colonial. He was a slaver. No, he wasn't. He might have been a colonial, but then again, how many countries in the world were colonials? Talking of colonials, there's one. And hang on, is this pot black?
Do you know what, Michael, right? Before we bring Alan in, there was a word growing up, my mum and dad, my dad more so used to use it with me, and I think this word should have a re-emergence. I think we need to get some proper meaning and value just into this one word. And I used to do things as a kid, and my dad used to look at me, and I don't know, I might have let the cat jump up the curtains and pull all the curtains and knock the thing off the mantelpiece. And my dad used to say to me, "Do you know what? Are you a retard? Are you retarded?" Yeah, but now, of course, you can't. I think we should use the word retarded. I think if you're doing stuff like that, if you think that you can walk around the classroom as a pussycat and lick chairs as long as you don't disrupt the classroom, I think you should be labelled as you're retarded. You've obviously got a problem. Go and sort yourself out. These words we used to have in the 70s now, they can't. We're not supposed to use them anymore. But who said we can't use them? Who's these people saying we can't use them?
It's because we've allowed people to take the initiative and say, you can't call me mister, you can't call me man, you can't call me woman, you can't call me this, you can't call me that. And if you do, I'll see you in court and I'll get you arrested. All right? It's absolute bollocks.
Michael, there was a black man, right? A black man was walking up the high street quite a few years ago, Manchester, Liverpool, wherever it was, and he see a transvestite woman, quite spicy senorita, walking up, and he went, "All right, darling," and she went, "Oh, how very dare you, very dare you." Anyway, this thing went to court. He just thought this individual's taking the piss. No, the old bill were around, arrested him. It went to a court. He lost his case. And when the case had finished, this guy said to the judge, he said, "Excuse me," he said, "if that, whatever it is, I'm too scared to say what it is, if that wanted to go and use the toilet now, what one would it use?" He said it'd use the gents. It'd use the gents, but it's dressed up.
Not now, Dave. Not now. Not now.
Oh.
If I can walk into a ladies' loo and say, "I identify as a woman," and they can't stop me going in.
Really?
Okay. And I can walk into they are advocating paedophilia in America, advocating it. They're saying the most appalling things to children. Like, they're talking about pornography to 5 and 6-year-olds in America. And there are 13 now laws that the Biden government brought out that will prosecute people who go and rail against the way their children are being educated. If they go out and start shouting at someone saying, "You don't know," they get the FBI come and investigate and arrest them.
So are we labelling all the Americans as retarded then? We pretty much are.
Americans are. We're talking about, again, it's the small minority. And it's all coming thanks to Biden and his gang of cutthroats who are in there cutting the throat of the American nation. They are destroying. Yeah. They're destroying that keeps us safe. And regardless of whether anybody's safe, you can have the conversation, and I'll get a million people on to say you don't know what you're talking about. But I'll tell you something. When Ronald Reagan came back to power, when he came back to power after Jimmy Carter, when America was considered to be a bunch of scumbags and just pointless, what you could...
Alan, come back! Alan, come back! Come on now, quick, get in here!
When Ronald Reagan came back and became president, he put the backbone into America. He got a Gorbachev. He got a Gorbachev to take down the wall. But at the end of the USSR, it became perestroika. It was the end of the world as we knew it. It was the end of the Cold War, and we had a lovely few years of everybody getting on with everybody. Now, then we had Barack Obama. Barack Obama did fuck all for America. It's been the most appalling. And then we had Trump. 4 years of Trump. For 4 years they tried to get rid of him. But Trump's the only president that never went to war. Never sent troops in combat. Okay, did everything he could, and nobody fucked with Trump. Nobody fucked with him in any way whatsoever. There was his presidency, who looks like he's going to get ousted because he's not been seen, and they think he's been got rid of. There's been a coup in China. We don't know, but it's possible. We think Biden's gone loopy, so people like Putin think he can do what he likes. But when Trump was
That's funny. That's fucking funny, Michael. That is funny. That is funny. Well done, Matt.
The point I'm making.
Don't stop him when he's on a roll. I'm telling you, don't stop him.
The point I'm making, whether anybody likes it or not, okay, when America is strong, we are safer. Okay, because they were the world's policemen. You know, they are ex-colonists. And they should be flying the Union flag over the White House. We know that. Even though the War of 1812, we burned it down. And President Monroe and his wife Dolly, they ran for cover. And 500 redcoats come and took Washington and burned it to the ground. Anyway, that's another story. However, so what you've got now is a country, America, which is in decline, and it's been shafted by its own by the Democratic Party.
No different from here.
Communist states.
Yeah, but it's no different from here.
Well, that's exactly what's happening. That's what's happening now. They're trying to bring all these people in who are going to vote Labour, going to vote Communist, are going to vote Green. I mean, what the fuck? Who was one of the tree huggers running this country?
Whoever bought all this thing in, like that we're all in it together? What? Alan's gonna get out. Come back in. I'm going to let you speak straight away. Come on, son. Get back in here. Where do we get off with all this? We're all in this together. You've got to pay your taxes. We're all in it together. We're not all in it together. We're not. We've been these corporations that masquerade as whatever. This woman, she phoned up WaterAid today. This WaterAid advert on the telly's flying around. Oh, give £2 a month and provide water to so and so. And there's this little African kid mucking around in dirty water and doing all whatsoever. Anyway, she's phoned up and spoke to this bloke at WaterAid. She said, "Why is it your CEO, your top director's on £130,000 a year? And it's about time he stuck his hand in his pocket and helped out and stuck water in these villages at 130 grand a year. But they don't have the answers." And she said, "You know what? You're all the same. You're just corporations masquerading as charities. You're private limited companies masquerading as charities. And that's all it is."
It's just like the National Trust. The National Trust now has within it a load of people trying to change the National Trust. It's bringing it back to what it is, not this political bunch of wankers who run it. They got $1 billion in the bank and they keep asking for money, asking more and more and more money. They do a fabulous job and they have done over the years, but they are now become political. Just like all these so-called charities, they all become political. That's not
We've
their
got to
job.
let him in, Mike. We've got to let him in. Hello, Alan.
Have you put a battery in?
Yeah, but can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Al. Nice to see you.
Fuck me, I thought I was never going to get in there. Mikey, I'll tell you what, he wouldn't make a very good swimmer, would he? He's got his gob open all the time.
You're hurtful, you are. You know,
Hey, good job you went in the limousine business and not fucking deep sea diving.
You're upsetting me now. You're upset. I know where you live.
All right, guys.
All right, darling.
Zadra's
I just had a lovely Thai curry.
Oh, lovely.
And I just sat there with egg fried rice and a pint of beer. I lit a log burner because it was a little bit chilly. And I thought I was listening to you and I thought, fucking Mikey's on a roll tonight, ain't he?
He's on it, isn't he? Yeah, he's right
fucking
on it.
hell, isn't he?
He's on it. Yeah, he's
I was putting some chat in the chat room. I was putting some comments in the chat, and I thought that fucking Dave's not looking in the chat.
No, I'm not actually. I should be, shouldn't I? Yeah, go on.
You should be, yeah, because you should be engaging with your fucking people.
I can't multitask, Al. That's the trouble. My missus says.
Of course you can. You can do anything, bro.
You smooth.
I was trying to get you to come to London last weekend so we could have had pie and mash.
Pie and mash last weekend? When's that happening?
I was in London when I was doing the filming. Did you not see me filming?
No.
Yeah, I was in London filming for the anti-immigration demo. Yeah, all the football mob, and they were going to go from Parliament Square to Home Office to Buckingham Palace. But Antifa had obviously got wind they were going to go to the Home Office, and they anticipated that, so they went to Antifa. But I'll tell you what, the old bill, they were conducting it all, they were working it all, they were kettling people, and they were guiding people where they wanted them to go.
So what happened?
And when he was talking about the energy companies, I was listening to what he was talking about, the energy companies. You know, people have got to realise there must be a way around this, because I think we're paying through the fucking meter. We're paying the corporation through the meter.
Of course, that's all we're doing. That's absolutely right. That's all it is. That's all it is. They're credit brokers.
Yeah,
now,
well said.
Yeah, no, they are. But look, the more they take, when let's say a man and wife at home with 2 kids, centre of London, down in Bristol, wherever they're living, if they're not paying attention right now, for the reason that their bank accounts are probably not too bad at the end of every month, they're doing all right, their kids are going to school, they're keeping the wolf from the door. When they got nothing, when they can't pay for this and they start getting all these letters in and bailiffs come around, that's the flashpoint, and that's coming. That's coming.
There's been a big presence in Lincoln of armed forces. The military have actually been parading within the streets of Lincoln. But they don't look like normal soldiers. They almost look like grey buried. Are they UN ones?
UN.
No, they're blue. Blueberries. UN is blue. Great.
Is it blue? I couldn't really see because the film, somebody took of it from a mobile phone. It wasn't very good.
I agree with Matt Everard on this. People only attend demos now if their mates have got Stellas and Fosters go with them. And you know what? I couldn't agree more. He's bang on, because they all said after the demo, "Oh, we're going to the pub now." And I said, "Well, I've travelled all the way down from Lincolnshire for this, and to me, it means more than just a fucking piss up."
Well,
it's just a gathering.
How many people were there?
Weren't a very good turnout, Mike.
Really? I didn't know.
No, I was quite disappointed, to be truthful. I mean, when you talk about, like, you know, when we were in Parliament Square in November the 5th, when Swifty, the Rocket Man, was there.
Rocket Man! Rocket Man burning down the pit.
Yeah, the Korean leader was with us, Rocket Man.
He said to me, "You old things, mate," and I held him. I was an accomplice in that crime, I'm telling you.
Hey, what's this on the bottom here? On the way home from college, my son said he saw this in Nottingham today, walking around. What is this, a soldier walking around?
Who was walking around? It could have been a soldier or someone taking it to the slaughterhouse. I've seen that before.
Alison, you need to elaborate a little bit more, darling.
Yes.
Yeah.
The police were just bored. The police, right? I'm not being funny, right? When I used to watch war films like the Gestapo, the SS, and all that, I see massive similarities now with our system. It's you know, I said to me mate today, Darren Norman, God bless him, he's a beautiful man. He phoned me out and said, "Everyone on Facebook's worried about it, Dave." I said, "I'm fine. I'm just having a lovely time. I can't be asked with Facebook no more. I'm done with it." But he said, what was it? He was saying, oh, that was it. I said, "You could be the most knowledgeable man on the law in the world. You could have a doctorate, a degree, a diploma. But when you got a bailiff at your door and a copper comes along and says, hands up, put your hands up, I've got a taser stick here. You're going to either go like that or tell him to fuck off and have a go head to toe with him." So that at that point, really, we have a system that just uses force. It loves.
That's a brilliant point, Dave, because you was making that point. Now, what did the police do when the Iranians and the Kurds were kicking off? They were nowhere to be fucking seen. Yet when the football supporters were down there and they were kicking off about immigration, not only did they let Antifa go against what they organised in that demonstration, your fucking point is talking to liaison officers, because they don't work with you, they work against you, because they let Antifa preempt the fucking demonstration and go to the Home Office first, and they kettled the football supporters and stopped them from going down side streets and everything. It was all, they done a fucking good job as far as I was concerned. And there was 2 groups, and they broke one group off. One went marching one way, and the police were directing them more so than the organisers actually organising it.
So communism works. This is we're people. You've got to realise what you're living in. You're living in communism now. All these dictators and the words.
But isn't it strange that when the Iranians and the Kurds were kicking off outside the Iranian embassy only a couple of days later, right? It was a completely different scenario. All right, they say 6 police officers were injured, blah, 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 blah. But the presence of police wasn't as greater. Protesters like us, they're probably fucking taking batons to. Those that were kicking off and inciting violence, they did fuck all against.
Well, they were probably policemen.
Yeah, you'd be surprised the amount of infiltration. Like, I went to the Royal Courts years ago, and my mate sniffed out a geezer called Steve McDonald. Now, I thought Steve McDonald was a nice fella. He said to me, he's a copper.
He used to be in the Rovers, didn't he?
That's right, and that's what my mate said to me. He said he's a Coronation Street actor. So anyway, this Steve, when we collared on who he was, he disappeared. And then we spent a bit of time rolling around in this court, chatting with this Master Leslie, raiding his chambers and all that. And then I goes into the pub over the road, and this guy in motorbike leathers with his helmet on the thing, he stood straight, he shook me hand. Hello, Dave, nice to meet you. Anyway, I come up to the bar, I said, do you want a drink? He went, yeah, all right. I said, better have a soft one because you're on the wheels. And he looked at me, and I went, how long have you been in the job then? And he went, oh, is it that obvious? And but he hung around with us all night because I thought it was quite a laugh. But yeah, mate, infiltrate, even within the things that we do, in the movement we do on Facebook profiles, there's loads of coppers infiltrating.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a good start.
It was funny, actually, because you saw the old Bill blatantly chatting to the plain clothes lot.
There you go.
And it was fucking, they were just dressed up like in jeans and that. A couple of them had football scarves on. And people didn't take a fucking blind bit of notice.
No, they don't. No, the police, look, they're no different from a Gestapo or an SS. Let's be honest. That's what they are.
Well, but they're turning against the wrong people. They're turning against their own.
Well, there you go.
And they seem to forget what their oath is, what they swear in, and what Elizabeth Regina actually meant.
Well, yeah, but they've long. That boat sailed out. You know, me and Mark might be in a little boat, but that boat sailed long time. Look,
I think it sailed with the maritime law.
That is what it is.
Then let's not go back next week. Last week standing up and Prince-Old line and
the police.
Hang on. A little bit. It's a little quiz. One question to see if you can get this. Who designed the SS uniforms for the German for Adolf Hitler? Who designed them?
Probably some Englishman.
No, most people think it was Hugo Boss, don't they?
That'd be a crowd.
Don't they?
Smart uniforms. They had smart uniforms. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
He only manufactured them. Hugo Boss, the old man Hugo Boss, only manufactured them. There's a guy called Karl Diebitsch, actually, it was a fashion design. He actually designed the suits, and along with a guy called what's his name?
Come on, Mikey.
He did the SS rooms. He changed the SS. The S means victory. Okay, one S, and he changed it to SS. Schutzstaffel. So anyway, just a piece of history. You can go back to what.
He's very informative tonight, David.
Oh, he's on it. It's like an encyclopedia.
He's on it tonight. I know there's a couple of things I listened to him say tonight, and when he was on his little bit of a rant there, he was making sense.
Well, hang on. Really? Michael, eh? You open that mic.
You've got the check. You've got the check. But
he must have said, is he been slipping you some money in the post, Alan, or what?
Yeah. Do you really think this world would be in a shit state if there was someone like Trump as US president? No, it wouldn't. Because Trump took no bollocks from Putin, took no problem.
The thing is, right, we all look to Trump, we look to Johnson, we look to this, with that. Why? Because we can't look after our own fucking affairs. And it's as simple as
well said.
We're like kids. We're like kids in schoolrooms. We're like kids in fucking classrooms.
Yeah.
You said it earlier. You said that Vanguard, BlackRock, and they got super bankruptcy, right?
Well, I hope that's true. I do hope that's true.
Well, I failed to see how they could go bankrupt with the amount of money they got. They are State Street, Vanguard, and BlackRock are three of the biggest financial service companies. They're worth trillions of dollars under management. They cannot go bust. If they went bust, then the world's totally fucked. I mean, no
look,
matter what. They've got more money than the rest of the world put together. They've got so much money.
let's give a bit of kudos to our people.
Oh, Jesus Jones is on it, David.
Mate, he knows some stuff, Jesus Jones. Look, Carl,
he just copied me. Jesus, would you listen to me now?
Jesus.
And I'll tell you something. I've been listening to Matt just lately, and he's been putting a lot of stuff in the comments. And fucking Matt does not make some sense.
You ain't kidding. Of course he does, yeah. Big time. Nice fella, Matt Everard.
Oh, yeah, I can talk with the devil.
Matt Everard's proper, mate. Proper dude.
Yeah, he's a good geezer. Like Matt a lot. Got a lot of time for Matty.
He wants to cut the pie and mash with us.
Yeah,
we need to organise this. I've been trying to organise you two and see if we can go out. I'm going down south in a couple of weeks.
You're all right, then we'll do it.
We're maybe next weekend. Because David's quite poorly at the moment.
Oh, Swifty?
Yeah.
What's up with him? Dave, what's up with you?
I don't know. I think he's got a rocket up the arse.
Oh, no.
Lobsterismus, bummerkissmus, I think.
Well, he's got to be delirious. He must be delirious because I think he's putting up saying that he's shopping at Primani. So I never thought I'd see the day Swifty.
He's bound to answer us back. You know what he's like.
It's got Primani. But I mean, the thing is, if there's four of us will go, and anybody else who wants to tag along. I've got to say, I've got a few chins, haven't you?
I've got Matt.
No, I'm looking at you. How many chins you got?
He's got more chins.
Fuck off. I've got a dog and bone, bitch. Look at you. Oh, Mr. Prim and Proper.
It's only because you've got roll necks on.
No, I've got a scarf. I've got a cravat, darling.
You got a cravat on? Oh, I tell you, Mike, you are proper. You are, Mike. I'm telling you.
So you can see my hat.
Very snooty, isn't he?
No, he's not. He's very down to earth, but he just likes looking.
No, I'm only fucking about. Mike, I love Mikey.
My hat's at the back. I've got 12 hats now. I bought another hat.
Is that all?
Fucking hell. What, you going to the races?
No, I'm just. It's winter, isn't it? It's like time to start dressing up proper.
You've got to organise this pie and mash. And pie and mash is on you this time.
Well,
yeah, no worries.
No problem with me.
No problem.
I've got lunch vouchers.
Green Shield stamps.
Pink stamps, love. Pink stamps.
I can't hear you very well. My sound's shit. My sound is really poor.
No, it sounds
you
right.
need a snood, Alan. Swifty says you should go and get a snood.
Oh, I can hear. The old boy, he's been a bit poorly, bless him. He was tonic last night.
He was what?
He was sick in the night. He was a morning sickness he was having.
You can't fight, wear a big hat. Absolutely right, Chris. Absolutely right, yeah.
If you can't fight, wear a big hat.
Ask the Grenadier Guards.
Yeah.
Anyway, so where was I? Anyway, so yeah, get back to where were we? What were we talking about? Something. What was it?
Well, you was on one before I came in. Go on, carry on.
Yeah, we were just.
I'm going to come out and listen to you because I can't hear you very well. So nice to see you, lads, and I'll listen to you on the other side.
Well, listen. We'll get this prime actually sorted out in a couple of weeks.
No problem, bro.
When you coming down,
it'd be nice to see you anyway because I do like you two old boys.
Well,
you didn't see the comment I put up earlier on. I'm listening to two old bastards I put up.
Can I just say before you go, Dave has just put, I think I might be pregnant. Well, everybody's told him to get fucked. So
yes, I said he had a fucking rocket up the arse, didn't I?
Oh, that was funny, Mike. Mike, that was really good. Mike, that was so, you was right on it there, fella. He's at home and he's going, I'll have him next time I'll see him. He's going to bring some big rockets this year.
He's going to bring some big rockets, absolutely. Anyway, so, yeah, get back. Where was, what else has been happening today? I mean, you've got trouble with your Velo. You said your Velo hasn't been well.
Oh, yeah, no, it's just.
He's got his noddy car.
I've done about 80 miles with all my tools in it this week. I had a little issue with my battery wouldn't charge because my battery charger passed out. So on the last day yesterday, I had to pretty much go there without any assistance. And when you're going up a 1 in 5 hill with that and a trailer on the back, my little legs yesterday night. Well, I got up this morning and I thought I'd been in a little room with Jimmy Savile, and I've just chilled out today, really. That's why I'm having a couple of gin and tonics tonight because just relaxing me. I think a little bit of alcohol every now and again don't do you any harm at all.
I've got to make you right there. Can I just get back to a little bit about a couple of interesting things I listened to yesterday. There's a guy talking in America, and he's talking about the Americans now want to get or everybody into electric cars by 2050, but 2035 is more and all this bullshit, Anyway, so the guy was saying to him, well, talk about the power. You're gonna have to upgrade the grid and do this to get to take all the power. So he said to the guy, how many fridges, big fridges like that in the States, would it cost to charge up a car? So he's gone, considering that each car is 75 fridges, and most American families got 3 or 4 cars, right? So he said, so if you think that's say 100, say just argue it's even 2 cars, 100, that's 150 fridges, right, running, and considering that most 40% of stuff in America is air conditioning, he said, where are you going to get the power from? Where are you going to produce it? How are you going to do it? Are you going to make it all going to cover the ground in solar? Are we going to, going to have wind farms? What are we going to do? We're going to produce all the power. Will that be enough? No, it won't. They're going to still have to use fossil fuel. I mean, as well as I do, we said it last week, that there's all these cars queuing up for electricity, and at the back of it, all to the side of that, was a generator running to produce the electricity to charge up the electric cars. It's a fucking joke. Electric cars suck. And I've got a Lexus, which is a hybrid. Why not have hybrid cars? Hybrid cars use about a third less of petrol, and they run lean and they're good. So what is the problem? I don't follow the logic, Dave.
Let's just. Can you see the screen here?
Okay.
This is Tesla's top fire compilation videos. Get out of that if you can.
You can't. And you can't put the fire out either.
That's what I mean. Watch this when that obey starts again. Yeah. We suffer from crass stupidity, men and women. We really do. We're crass stupidity.
So basically, you have a crash in a Tesla, you're going to get burnt to death.
Yeah, you can't put it out, can you?
You've got to let it burn itself out.
So how long would that take to just burn out naturally, Mike?
Fuck knows. It's something that'd be worth looking into, actually. Perhaps somebody else will go on. He'll know how long it will take one of those batteries. Because, to be honest with you, Dave, this is the things to come. They can't get rid of when those batteries are done. All they can do is bury them.
That's right.
They can't recycle them. What are you going to do? It's an absolute joke. Look at it. Look. It's melted. I mean,
and because the battery's underneath you as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Just explodes, yeah. Boom.
Jeepers.
Not my idea. That was, I wouldn't have electric car for a bet.
See, look. Imagine you was in that. Imagine you was in that, right? Imagine you was in that. That went up in a matter of point something of a second, right?
You're dead. You're gone. You can't. You're not going to get out of it.
Shit! Look at this. Look.
Another one, yeah.
Wow, Mikey. Well, who was it we had on the show the other day, and they said that the husband was putting the car in the garage and it went up and killed him, and the wife and kids just about got out of the house. I mean, when they call cars back to the garage for a recall because the fuel cap or the steering's out, what are they going to do with these Teslas?
There's nothing you can do with them, Dave. I mean, they can strip all the components out, but they can't get rid of the batteries. Once the battery's fucked, it's fucked.
Look at the damage this has done to the house here. Look, the cable.
I mean, the heat of that. There was an electric car that Richard Hammond was in when he crashed and it burst into fire and he got out of it and he was really badly injured. But I mean, this was some years ago. But that was an electric car, and this is another one. I mean, this is not an isolated case. This is worse than the Ferraris when they brought out 348s. No, not 348. What was it? 435s. I think it was 435 when they brought out. They put the fuel line over the top of the engine, and they exploded. And all these Ferraris were bursting into flames and this is what's happening here.
What do we think the problem is here? The actual storage of energy is what's causing this.
I don't know I mean, the thing is that they knew what it was. I mean, there's no way to disengage that, is there? I mean,
no.
I mean, it's like you've got a battery that's connected all the time. So might it be just standing there doing nothing? I don't know. I mean, I mean, look at it. I mean, that car is. I mean, there's nothing you could do. You can't rescue that car.
No.
All it needs now is half a dozen of these now to crash and do this in this country. Then what? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Say, it's just one that won't happen. It fucking is happening.
But you won't see. This is the thing again. You won't see this on the BBC, will you?
No, of course not. No, of course not. The rush, this green agenda they've got is bullshit.
So they'd rather, to protect a corporation like Tesla or Nissan that are making these electric cars, they'd rather protect them and their interests in monetary instruments than men and women getting actually caught up in this. And one of them just literally, I mean, we see one a few minutes ago on this, just literally explode. And even if it's going like that underneath, you're going to get out and get properly burnt. That is some serious heat right there, yeah?
You can't get out of it, Dave. Once you open that door, that's going to go straight in your face, isn't it? Kill you.
My goodness.
I mean, there's just there's no way out of that.
Jeepers creepers.
But, the thing is, Dave, this rush for the green agenda, what is the ulterior motive is to get all in the electric cars and then switch them off. And you can't, no power. You can't have your car. No, well, I live in the middle of nowhere. Well, you'll have to get a cab. Well, there's no cabs because they're electric. Oh, well, you'll have to fucking starve to death, wouldn't you? But, I mean, that's basically what it comes down to.
Well, we've had electric vehicles since probably just before the turn of the century. They've had electric cars for years. So, but when you combine the electric car industry that's kicked off as whatever it is in the last 5-10 years, and you look at the rollout of all these smart meters and smart technology, I'm leading to believe, and I've thought for a long time, that it's certainly not smart, is it?
No, the thing is, Dave, when I was on that row with Ian the day, he said, we've been trying to read your meter. We can't find where your gas meter is. I said, I haven't got a gas meter. Of course you've got a gas meter. I said, no, I haven't got a gas meter. I haven't got no gas here. Well, yes, according to us, you've got a gas. I said, we've got no gas here. Get real. So he said, well, what number's your smart meter? I said, I don't have a smart meter. Oh, we'll come and fit one. I said, no, you won't. No, you won't.
Good.
So he said, why not? I said, you're not having a smart meter. If you can't try and come and fit one here, I said, I'll tell the guys 2 things. Go, or I'll fucking stab you. It's as simple as that. Because you ain't going to come and you ain't coming in my house to fit a meter. You can fuck right up, and you've got no right of entry either. I mean, it's up to you. They said to me, well, fine, whatever. And I said, don't come up. I said, because I said, you can try and get in my house and fit a meter. I shall fucking protect myself. And,
mate, we got some. That's why I'm not doing much now online. We're at a point in time in history where the words have been spoken. Now the actions are going to roll out on many fronts, from food to energy to just everything. The system is really lashing at people right now and being so violent and horrible that the only reasonable outcome of it is that people are going to have to say, fuck it, we're going to have to make a stand. And that for me is going to be a good thing.
There are some pluses, Dave, out of this. To be honest with you,
of course.
Now, out of this energy crisis has brought innovation. It's like the best way to fight. I mean, the greatest innovation about surgery was during wars. I mean, the Roman army were better surgeons than they did in the American Civil War and in the First World War. They understood about cleanliness. They understood about amputation. Understood about using poppy to quell the pain. All that stuff. They knew all this stuff, and we were playing catch up. Oh, here we go. Was it total 9? That's never been reported, is it?
So Matt Everard saying,
well done, Matt. Yes, well done. There you go.
Up to the 16th of September 2022, 5 electric car fires in England have been fatal, with a total of 9 lives lost. That reported. I'm sure the figures would be wide.
That has never been. If I've never seen that, I'd have picked up. We've all picked that up. But I mean, anyway, get back to what we were saying. That's well done, Matt. But I have to say that going back to what we were talking about, it's innovation, because now I've got these new little boxes coming like this. They're 40 quid, okay, and they'll heat a room up in 20 minutes. They cost about 8 pence a minute. 8 pence to do that.
Has that been pumped onto your smart devices and you've seen it? So you've bought one, right?
No, I've got 3. I'm waiting for them to come. And also today, I've got I bought one of these power dryers. These big standalone power things, and it's a pod, and you put your clothes on it. And you cover it and then you start this motor. This motor runs. It costs. They went to do it. Will cost about, even undercover, about 20 pence to do that. Now the innovation is that people are now looking at this and saying, if they could do that, it wasn't viable to produce them then, but it is to do it now. And I think that innovation and the way people are looking at stuff. To sort of stop using electricity, it's going to do although we might be saving the planet, but we're not making the fucking these companies any money, because if we start reducing the amount of what they're going to do with it all, if we start doing what we tell, we're not going to use electricity. What are we going to do? What are they going to do when people are going? Well, we've cut right back. What are they going to do?
We don't know. Do you think that the energy companies with this smart technology will start just remotely turning many people off?
That was written about a little while ago. They were saying that when they've got the way it will work is your smart meter will be able to take away electricity as well as provide electricity. If there's a shortage of electricity, it will suck all the power out of anything that's plugged into it, like on a to fill up an electric car, and put it back on the grid. So you get up in the morning, your car's flat because they take all the power out of it. So, there you go. But I mean, you go to work, and we go and they done. I've got to go to Scotland. All right, I'll take the Tesla. Okay, that will get me out because they knew there was exactly. I mean,
Matt said 3,000 gallons of water and up to 24 hours to completely extinguish electric car fire. My word!
Right. I mean, when Richard Hammond crashed, the one that burnt for hours.
Hang on, the one where he hurt himself.
Yeah.
That was an electric car.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, that's why I think that things like this e-racing have yet to. So they've not had anything like that happen. They've had a few crashes, but they go like clappers. And but I'm not seeing anything remotely come across the problems that they've had, like with road cars. So I don't know whether e-racing will be innovative enough to stop this from happening, but because it usually is Formula One that is bought on, so like tyres, fuel consumption, and everything else that's gone on. But I think it's remains to be seen. But I think there has to be a look at this, at these cars, because it's not just the person in the car. If one of these fucking things exploded sitting in traffic and you've got cars either side of you and this thing goes bang, how many cars and people are you going to take out?
Fuck.
And they're going to do it with lorries. They're going to have lorries.
We trust look. I think it's the storage element, because we want performance I think if you was to produce an electric car and it was just to poodle up the road at 30 or 40 mile an hour, maybe all it's because they're trying to get so much energy into these lithium packs so that the car, I mean, I've seen a stripped out Tesla beat a Ferrari off of start line. So you got to wonder, and I think that could be the problem. They're trying to get so much energy and so much output out of these batteries. And you've got so much energy contained in these things. It's always looking to get out. It wants to get out and expand. And I think maybe that's what.
To be honest with Dave, I don't think that matters. I think these batteries are looking the way they operate. I don't think it's how much power's in them. I think they're just unstable. Because I mean, we can't always. We don't know what those cars that exploded. They won't all be high performance Tesla's top of the range cars. You know?
Hey, Craigie. Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, it's true. Craigie's in the house. I love Craig Baxter. Craig, you're a top man, Craig, and I love my little chats with you as well, mate. You're a top man. Thanks for keeping in touch with me. You're a good man, Craig. We love you. I'd rather have a good petrol engine any day, says the Cockney Patriot, with his blue lagoon strip lights going around his cab of his boat. His boat looks very nice now. It's got a very nice looking boat, let me tell you.
Well, has it got nice curtains? Is there nice curtains on it and everything?
We don't do sex on this show, only on a Friday. Do you are you seafarer then, Mike? Do you know the way around the waves?
Well, I've got no level in navigation.
Hang on, have you ever been on the eye water?
Well, I've been on Greenwich Pond.
I know
I use the sex. Well, I can just about remember I used the sex.
That's like wearing a skiing jacket, but never been on the out.
Most during the war, most American pilots flew dead reckoning. They flew dead reckoning navigation in straight lines. Okay, they went there and back. That's why a lot of them got shot down so much because it was predictable. Now, what I can do when you got a sextant is you can plot where you are on that line. Right, the right. So you can do that. So basically, and then you work out the maths. And that will tell you exactly where you're on the chart.
So, but what I'm saying, have you spent any time on the water? You've been out on sea? Have you? Because I don't want to get a sailing boat with him. We get out and we end up doing a diving.
Are you saying you want me to dress up as a sailor for you?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I'm the ocean waver. I mean, yeah, absolutely. But
we're missing a one-trick pony. We've already got a sailor on Wake Up UK, haven't we? The Charlie boy that's in Estonia with his young bit of stuff. Charles,
Charlie Babes, he's on with Del Boy, isn't he? Tuesdays or Wednesdays.
We could stick him up the forehead and he could tell us if we're pointing in the right direction. Bernie Spencer.
Is he in there tonight? Is he on? Is he in the chat room?
If there is any sailors out there want to take me out, not like that, but a day or two.
What do you mean by take you out, Dave?
Well, like Bullet will say, I don't know. Probably only out there that want to.
Only Wrens. That's much like. I've got a girlfriend who was a Wren. Yeah, she said she was mattress. Officer's mattress, apparently. But I don't know whether that's true. I'm sure that can't be true. But anyway, so looking forward, as we are, looking at the way the world economy is and everything else, Master Bates, Seaman Staines and all that. We've been there, Roger the Cadbury Boy and all that. Yeah. But going forward and the way the world economy is, I mean, we're all saying, oh, look at the pound. But have you seen the yen? Did you see the euro? Have you seen all the other world currencies, the Canadian dollar? All absolutely flat. They're coming like we are in this country. Their currencies are sinking fast because the dollar is soaring, or was soaring. This afternoon it dropped a bit, I think. But the dollar's very strong, and it's always strong in this world crisis, of course. But it won't last, and things will right themselves. But we'll see. Matt, I'm looking forward to meeting you, mate.
Be seeing y'all.
Yeah.
Be seeing y'all. Did
you see the last one I sent you? That was disgusting.
That was disgusting. Yeah. Anyway, this is a family show. This is a family show here, ladies and gentlemen. It really is. Was saucy, wasn't it? So, Michael, we've got about 10 minutes left. If there's anything
Right,
on
yeah.
your mind, you want to get off your chest, you know, now's the time.
Well, to be honest with you, Dave, there's so much. I mean, Ukraine. There's so much conflict out there. Now we don't really discuss what's happening in Ukraine, which is really the crux of the matter at the moment in the world, which is and it's causing world poverty. It's causing world hunger because the Ukrainian feeds after a third of the world uses Ukrainian wheat, even though the Russians did allow some grain ships to get out, and more than we don't know exactly what happened, so they must have all got out. So, but there is a lot of hunger in the world, and there always has been. And I suppose everybody looks as soon as there's some sort of conflict, and they say, "Oh, this is that because you need to give more. You need to start giving more. You need to start donating to charity." You know, and and here we go again. You know. You know what I mean, Dave, today? It is, isn't it?
No, he loves you. He loves you. He does love you. He loves you.
Dave's obviously like he's probably having a nightmare at the moment. The figure out was a new debate. Stuck it. Well, I can't remember what it was. I know the rest of the first, but it's playing the show. But
can't fly a Russian flag anymore. Only a Nazi flag.
Yeah,
I've not seen this Ukrainian thing, and I'm entitled to my views. I don't think this Ukrainian thing is anything like the media play out, as was the mass destructions of weapons in Iraq and all that. And I think unless you can physically qualify something that you've seen it with your own eyes and you're listening to it with your own ears, I think everything is hearsay, and I think that sums it up pretty much as it should be.
I'm surprised you think like that, Dave, because there is so much evidence of what's going on out there.
If I took the time to travel to the Ukraine now and went and witnessed all what's going on, I'd say yes, it's going on. But when it comes out of a black box or a newspaper, do I believe that these people tell the truth? No, I don't. And for that reason,
we all know that Ukraine is one of the most corrupt states on the planet. We all know that. We all know it is a very corrupt state, and we all know that's where Hunter Biden had the laptop thing, which is yet to be proven. We don't know that.
We don't know that.
It will come. It is true. It's all true. It's all been squashed by the FBI, which have this laptop, but there is a copy. Now it will come out when the Republicans take the House and take the Senate. They will then bring Biden and his gang of cutthroats and that to heel, and they'll probably impeach him because the man's obviously gaga. I'm sure he doesn't even know he's president. I don't even think he knows he's president. You know, because he can't do, because nobody can do. Why would you allow your country who is sitting on over 400 years worth of energy to sit there and then go out and spend billions of dollars and use your own reserves to fill the gap? Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Hey, look, check out Swifty. Now, Swifty's an ex-military man and he's very down to earth. One thing I will say about Dave Swift is he's very down to earth. Tells it how it is. Ron Seal should be his new nickname. Just had a member of staff who's because it does exactly what it says on the tin. Just had a member of staff who's Ukrainian go back to renew her license and came back. Who goes to a war zone to?
But whereabouts in Ukraine did she go? She could have gone to Kyiv. If she went to Kyiv, Kyiv's not. It's got a few missiles coming locked over, but it's not under attack per se. Not like the Donbass down in the Crimean.
You can go on to. There's live webcams streaming through Kyiv 24 hours a day. There's a few of them on. You can just Google it or DuckDuckGo it now, and it don't look to me as though there's any fucking missiles flying anywhere. But like, I could be wrong. I might be right. I don't know. As I just said, if you haven't seen it with your own eyes and heard it with your own ears, it's hearsay.
Well, look. Let's put it another. Let's take it. Forget the Ukraine. Talk about Russia. Russia is just mobilising 300,000 men to reinforce, and they're taking people out of prison. They are telling men of 60 years old that they've got to go and fight in the Ukraine. And they're sending them there with just a uniform on and a gun. They're not giving them any training. Just go and be cannon fodder.
Here's the thing, right? we've got 6 minutes left, but we're living in the age of technological advancements and the information war. And that is that we have the ability now to learn about information very, very swiftly and very quickly, which is one of the same thing, I guess. But at the end of the day, what it would be good would be to have Ukrainian people come in and tell us what on this show or shows like this, what's exactly going on.
That'd be great, yeah.
And then you might get somewhere near to the truth. And maybe, just maybe, that's where what we do in many ways is shining a bit of a light on the mainstream, because the mainstream pumps this out where we do this. And look, social media is taken over, Mike. It's taken over.
You've got to take it up. Look at the other side of the coin from the Russian point of view. The Russians, right, launched their special operation in there because they thought they're going to overwhelm Ukraine straight, and it was a done deal. We'll do it in a month. We'll get the Kyiv. We'll destroy their government. We'll take the country. We'll include it back to the Soviet Union. Okay, that was the plan. Well, it hasn't gone quite right to plan. It's cost Putin billions and billions and billions of pounds to do it. Now you can say, well, yes, guys, because the oil now and the gas in there, but he's turned that off. If there was no conflict and there was no fighting, and we weren't supporting Ukraine the way they do, the West is or has been, us particularly, do you really think that Putin would have gone to these extremes to cut off his main supply of cash? No, he wouldn't have done. They are fighting a war in Ukraine, which is brutal, and the outcome of that will decide what's going to happen in the next 25 years in this world. Because if Russians lose after mobilizing another 300,000 men, okay, if they start sending them tens of thousands like they're doing in body bags, then Putin's done. He's out there. But the problem is, we'll get someone else, but be careful what you wish for. We don't know. He's talking about nuclear weapons now, tactical nuclear weapons. What he forgets.
You know what, Mike? In many ways, right? We've only got a few minutes left. I think a good nuclear war would sort the world maybe out. And would it be a bad thing? Maybe not.
Perhaps you're right, Dave. But the difference is that when you use a nuclear weapon, you've got a thing called wind. When you release all this radiation, it gets blown around. And it's not just going to blow around into Ukraine, it's going to blow back into Russia. It's going to blow back around into Europe. Just like with Chernobyl.
It will in Alan Merritt's house tonight because he's had a Thai curry and a few pints of beer.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that might be pretty naughty around there, money later on.
Don't go around there, especially Alan, if you're still watching, don't fart next to your log burner, will you, for Christ's sake?
No, well, I reckon that's how he lost his hair. I mean, he did that and it all singed up. What do you reckon? Like when you have your ears done in the box.
Listen, the possibilities are endless.
What is he doing now on his own? That's another story. I'll keep sending those videos to you, Alan. Don't worry.
Yeah, he sends some spicy stuff out, Mike does. Oh, I feel in a lovely mood now. I've had a couple of nice gin and tonics tonight. A bit of Bulldog, London dry gin.
Are you feeling a little bit frisky?
Well, not my age, 55 now, and closest we come to sex in my house is we share the same bath water, really? And that's about as real as it gets. No, I'm only teasing, ladies. For those out there that look at me as a bit of a sex symbol, it's all true. Any of the rumours you've heard over the years, they are true, and it is just what it is. It's okay to Ukraine. Let's see what Matt's saying. I'll just put out. Won the Eurovision. Who would have thought of that? Exactly. Who would have thought that the Ukrainians would have won this year's Eurovision Song Contest and that we would have come second?
Can I just say something? I reckon that's what this war is all about. Well, I think we started this Ukrainian war on purpose because it's the only way we can win the Eurovision Song Contest.
It's a good way of laundering money, Michael.
Yeah,
it's a good way of laundering money, and that's what the Ukrainian president's doing. He's laundering money through the British government. Anyway, we've got 1 minute left, Michael. I'd like you.
Wherever happens, Dave, wherever happens in this, somebody's out there. A lot of people making a huge amount of money. We are spending. We say we're spending. We're spending billions of pounds sending them weapons. We're spending those billions of pounds with British armaments companies.
Mm-hmm.
keeping us employed. They're paying tax. So yes, while we're spending we're spending within our own where we in our own armaments factories, which are all produced here. We've got some of the finest weaponry in the world. In Dave Swift would agree with that. That's
if you want to get to the root of all issues, follow the money.
Exactly. Oh, absolutely, Dave. And on that happy note, is it time to say?
I'll see you next week. I'll be in touch, and then we'll sort some time mash trip to London. That'd be a nice day. Guys and girls, I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight. Michael's looking as handsome as ever. Thanks to Matt Everard and Chris Trade for putting all their 2 pennies in. And we'll see you all again next week. Feel free to come and join the show whenever you do.
Don't forget, anybody wants to come and join us for Pie and Mash, it'll be on a Saturday, wouldn't it? Yeah, always.
Yes.
More the merrier.
Yeah.
More the merrier. Come to London.
Yeah. Come to London, have Pie and Mash. We'll give you the details if you want them. Anyway, ladies, next week.
It might be the only liquor they get, but that's another story. See you later.
See you next week. Take care, people.